Welcome to Hive AV. Today we'll be going over the Hive Node Relay. We'll go over the devices, some of the connections. We'll review the jumpers and what the different relay closures are. We'll go into the difference between the contact closure and voltage sensors. We'll go over the Hive utility that discovers the device on the network and the web page. Then we'll go over the sensors and relays and some use cases for those things. Let's begin. Every Hive Node kit comes with a Hive Node Mini, and you can see it right here. This takes standard PoE power, and you don't need to have a shielded cable, but that's always a good idea. And Cat5 patch cable will be fine. It's just standard PoE, not PoE plus, so the demands are pretty small. So we'll kind of go into that in a second. And when it powers up, you'll see a nice light right here. It should blink a steady state like that. If you ever need to factory reset the device, just press this little button right there. Each kit comes with a little dongle and a 3.5 millimeter jack. This one I think is like 4-pin. For all that, you get a pretty incredible device. This is both 4 relays and 4 sensors, and all of them can be used at once. And you'll see there's some lights there, and they all have different meanings. The most important part is out of the box, it comes with these little tiny dip switches that you need to put in very specific meaning. All the relays are on this side, and single pole, single throw is probably the most common, followed by single pole, double throw, and each one is outlined here. The biggest difference is single pole, single throw means that you get just one relay and one ground, where the single pole double throw is sharing a ground with 2 relays. And that's important because a lot of screens and motorized lifts can utilize a single pole double throw instead of having to pulse for up or down and then pulse a different relay for up or down. And we can go into that a bit more later. When these relays are closed, they will light up green. The other parts that you should recognize here are on this other side here. And let's see if I can get this to focus. So on the other side here, we have our contact closures or voltage sensor. Right now, I have them all just set to detect any circuit. Basically, this light will go out when a circuit is created. So that'll actually equal 0 or a 1. We'll go into notifications later. Those are very important, those switches. The other thing is important is getting the wires in there. It's not the easiest thing to do. You can see here I stripped back a little piece of Cat5 wire, and I just kind of trimmed the end to like a 1/4 inch. So you see, it's hard to kind of see these. They have like little ridges. You could either use your fingernail or you could use a tweaker from someone else maybe. And you just push down on those. You can use your thumb and you can just simply put in 2 of the leads right into there, just like that. They go right in. You'll know that they're insecure because you can pull them out, and then you can test it right there if you need to. So now that we have the Hive node set up with the relay and connected to the network, we'll discover it, and then we'll configure it through the web page. We'll use the node help utility, which can be found on the product page, to discover it. It'll go out and find it on the network using multicast, and it'll assign the device an IP address if you have a DHCP server. If not, it'll show up with a 169 address, and then you'll be able to connect to it that way and set it up. Double click on it, it'll open the web page. By default, the cable is going to be set for infrared. We'll want to change that to relay sensor. Then here, this usually will be disabled by default. This has been used before on a factory reset. You'll see that right here. So you'll have a few different options. It'll come as disabled. Single pole, single throw is probably the most common, where you're just controlling two relays, one for up, one for down, and it'll work pretty good. Single pole double throw, on the other hand, is something that you would want to use if you can't pulse one or the other. Meaning, most projector lifts and screens are going to want to see a contact close, and then and then for up, and then a different contact close for down. But because they share a ground, you probably want to pulse either of those. Well, with the single pole double throw SPDT, you can see that it shares a common ground, and then it just flips between the two relays. That's something to keep in mind. That would be set here. Either way, in order for it to work, you'll have to set those pins that we set previously. You're going to want to do the same for the sensors down here, and you'll see for the sensors 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll want to save the states. Then you can always do a refresh that'll show you those values. And it's kind of seems backwards, or at least when you're using a contact closure, it is. When you actually touch them together, that's when it completes a circuit. So when it senses a contact closure, it goes to 0. And when it opens back up, that's when it's going to go to 1. After that, we have these sensor notify port and the timer port. Now, these are going to be if you want this to be broadcast over multicast. And the way this works is if you're using this sensor in a control system like Hive, there might be a wall that opens and closes, and that wall, when it closes, it's going to change that sensor state. Then it's going to broadcast that over multicast, and a control system will be listening to that. Then it'll change the states of the room. That's just one way that you could use it. That's primarily what the notify port is for. The timer, you can set this so that it'll report whether the state has changed or not. It'll report the state at many seconds. So this would be 100 seconds. It's going to report. And these are typical. These are the ports that the Hive Touch and the Hive AV app use to listen for this. So it's specifically been developed to work with this. We'll go over that when we take a look at room combine and divide. So here I've set my ports and my timer. So every 100 seconds, this is going to tell the world, broadcast, what the states of each of its sensors are. And that's good because sometimes, with UDP and multicast, the message will go out, but it could get lost. And so this just verifies that, oh, hey, just in case you didn't get the last state change message, I'll give you the state of the sensors now. Well, let's take a look at Hive Node Relay inside of the Hive AV app. You go to devices. Now I'm in the settings, the device settings mode. I'm going to go to Hive Nodes right here. And the first one you see is Hive Node Relay. Let's hit the add button. You can see here it gives you a bunch of useful information. This will take you straight to the manual. This will take you to the product page. When I hit save there, it does a couple things. It connects to the device. Then it sends the command to set the cable type to the correct one. Now, you still might have to come in and do some of the other settings, such as the relay type. We recommend if you're controlling lifts or screens inside of the Hive AV app to do single pole, single throw. And I'll go into how to set that up in a preset later. But you can see it's all ready to go. All I had to do was add the IP address. I hit close. It'll bring it right back here. It's a great feature. And if you ever needed to get to the manual, you can just pop in here and click on that. Let's use this. The most common use for the relay is to lower and raise either a projector lift or to lower and raise a screen. So let's pretend we have just a standard motorized screen, and I'm going to we already have a couple. I'm creating the power on and power off presets. On power on, we want the screen to come down. So I'll find my relay. There it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pulse so that the relay closes and then opens. I'm going to just make it a 1 second pulse. that'll be long enough. And the reason why I'm doing this, because it's single pulse, single throw, we don't want one to be on and one to be off. We're going to need to pulse relay 1, and so it comes down, and pulse relay 2, and then it'll go up. It's pretty simple. I'm going to hit save here. Then I'll come in to power off, and I'll do another command here, find the relay. This time we'll do relay 2, then we'll pulse it. We'll pulse it for a second, and on power off, the screen will go up. I could also add delays in there if I need, if I'm doing a motorized lift, for instance, you would want to make sure the projector was off. So maybe you'd put in a long delay for that. Now I have the presets already in there. It's really just as simple as, we're going into end user mode right here. When I press my power on button, my screen is coming down, my projector's turning on, and we're good to go. I'm gonna do some routing and some other stuff, and then when I press power off, my screen's going to go back up. Thank you for joining me with this Hive Node Relay tutorial. You can find out more about other Hive nodes, as well as Versa 4K and the Hive Touch and the new room combo feature by watching the accompanying videos. Thank you.